What the heck? Breaking news update now. The conflict between Israel and Iran is intensifying. Iran struck back. Iran has again rocked Israel in its 17th wave of attacks that occurred early this morning local time, continuing a series of intense ballistic attacks since the latest conflict broke out on June 13th. In this attack, Iran launched at least 25 medium-range ballistic missiles targeting a number of strategic targets in central and southern Israel, including the military area in the Negev and a radar facility around Beersheba. The Israeli Defense Ministry confirmed that most of the missiles were intercepted by a multi-layered defense system including Arrow 3, David Sling, and Iron Dome. However, a number of missiles reportedly got through and caused limited damage to military and civilian infrastructure. Although there have been no reports of casualties in this attack, this 17th wave is believed to be a direct response to previous Israeli airstrikes that hit key sites in Kerman and Isfahan provinces that are said to be centers of Iranian missile development. Iranian military sources said that this attack was part of the continuation of Operation Honest Promise 3, a major military operation launched by Iran after the Israeli attack on the Natanz nuclear facility. In an official statement, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, emphasized that this 17th wave was only a small part of its full capacity. As long as the Israeli aggression continues, we will continue our strategic punishment of the Zionist regime's military and security decision centers, the IRGC stressed. Meanwhile, a tense atmosphere enveloped central Israel. Warning sirens sounded for nearly an hour in Tel Aviv, Ashdod, and Rehovot, forcing thousands of residents to flee to underground shelters. The Israeli IDF is now on high alert and strengthening air defenses in the northern region in anticipation of possible additional attacks from Hezbollah in Lebanon. With this 17th wave, a total of more than 500 ballistic missiles have been launched by Iran towards Israeli territory in the past 7 days. Since the start of open conflict between Iran and Israel in mid-2024 until its peak in June 2025, the world has witnessed a major transformation in Iran's missile capabilities and tactics. Iran's attacks are no longer symbolic, but now reflect the depth of military strategy and significant technological advances in Tehran's missile program. In the wave of attacks on Israel, Iran deployed various types of ballistic missiles with a high level of coordination, indicating an evolution in strategic capabilities that is worthy of attention from a military perspective. Iran utilizes a wide spectrum of short-range ballistic missiles, medium-range ballistic missiles, and even intermediate-range ballistic missiles. In its operation, some of the main missiles used include Fateh 110, Zolfaghar, Dezful, and Sejil. These missiles have a range of between 300 and 2,000 kilometers, allowing Iran to attack targets deep inside Israeli territory without having to launch from the direct border. The Sejil missile, for example, is a two-stage solid-fuel missile capable of reaching targets at high speed and with a fast response time. What is striking in the 17th attack is the use of a ballistic missile system with multiple re-entry vehicles, namely warheads, that separate at high altitude and hit targets simultaneously at several points. Iran has also begun combining ballistic missiles with kamikaze drones and low-flying cruise missiles to deceive radars, creating saturation attacks that obscure the detection capabilities of Israeli air defense systems. Iranian missiles are now equipped with inertial navigation systems and GPS or GLONASS-based coordinate updates, providing a higher level of accuracy. Although not as quiet as NATO or Russian missiles, Iran's increased accuracy has allowed its missiles to hit high-profile targets such as radar facilities, depots, weapons, or military command centers. Not only did Iran fire missiles in large numbers, but it did so in waves, attacking repeatedly every 8 to 12 hours in the last 24 hours. This strategy aims to drain the resources of Israeli defense systems such as Iron Dome launchers that have limited numbers of interceptor rounds. In many cases, missiles with low strategic value or dummy warheads are sent first to occupy radars and defense systems, followed by the main missile with an active warhead. Another tactic used by Iran is to combine high-speed Mach 15 missiles with slow drones launched simultaneously. The relatively cheap and easy-to-produce drones act as radar decoys, absorbing interceptor missiles and paving the way for the main ballistic missiles to reach their targets. Simultaneous attacks from various corners of northern Iraq, Syria, and even the Red Sea make it difficult for Israeli radars to quickly determine the origin of the attacks, creating operational confusion at the air defense command level. Iranian missiles are designed to evade interception with their high speeds and suborbital ballistic flight paths. After being launched from a mobile launcher, the transporter erector launcher, the missiles will climb to altitudes up to 150 to 300 kilometers depending on the type, then back down in the terminal phase at a higher speed of Mach 3 to 6. In this phase, the missile is outside the atmosphere, a zone that is difficult to reach by short-range defense systems such as Iron Dome. In many cases, Iran uses basic electronic countermeasures like GPS signal jamming or decoy flares to confuse the navigation system of interceptor missiles. Some of its ballistic missiles are even reported to carry penetrators or submunitions warheads that can spread before hitting the ground, expanding the radius of damage and making total interception difficult. Iran also distributes its missile launchers in a decentralized manner, often moving and camouflaged among civilian vehicles or industrial areas. This makes them difficult to detect and destroy by a preemptive Israeli attack. In some cases, the launches were carried out from underground silos in the Kerman and Yazd regions geologically. Iran's missile capabilities are not only a technical threat but also a strategic statement that Tehran is now able to attack enemy territory directly, simultaneously, and repeatedly. Although Israel has one of the best air defense systems in the world, a barrage of attacks designed by Iran to penetrate and cause significant damage both physically and psychologically. But Iran's long-term effectiveness depends on the availability of missiles and the stability of its launch logistics network. If the war drags on, Iran may struggle to maintain a rhythm of attacks without escalating to unconventional weapons or direct involvement by proxies such as Hezbollah. This conflict is not just a missile battle, but also a battle of strategic intelligence and survivability. In this regard, Iran has shown that through a combination of ballistic missiles, saturation tactics, and calculated psychological attacks, a country with limited resources can pressure a technologically dominant regional adversary.